Volunteers at JABA are sort of the front line in many of our programs. They are the ones that are impacting the people that we help most directly. And they are just amazing in their willingness to learn, their willingness to serve, and their willingness to adapt when situations change. So the volunteers are just amazing people.
Thank you so much for everything you've been doing, and thank you doesn't say enough. You're an integral part of what JABA does. You make a difference in so many lives and in so many ways, and especially this year in the midst of all of the challenges of the COVID pandemic. I appreciate how all of you have pivoted, come up with new avenues and ways to help, and most importantly, created connections so that all of our seniors and our students feel that people are out there who care. This year has been fun to have a lot of new faces, all different ages and across the country. It's been really interesting to see how many people have reached out to continue to help us meet the needs of so many. Group of fish volunteers mentoring students, and this year it's been with doing online support so that students who are learning from home have some other ways of getting help with their studies and with the issues and concerns that they have.
Thank you to our wonderful fish volunteers who have served throughout the years. Of course, as we know, in 2019, with the closure of our local schools, many mentors were unable to say goodbye to their students. But you all quickly moved to providing support in unique ways, and with 2020, you were flexible and adapted to the changes that happened. While placements are constantly shifting sometimes and families' needs are evolving throughout the year, especially during the pandemic, all of our fish volunteers have stayed involved to provide what they need in the moment. Each child that you worked with is imprinted with a lasting memory about how, when everything in their world was changing, there was someone who dedicated their time to being there for them. Whether it be for years or for weeks, you were there, and that makes a lasting change. Thank you doesn't seem like enough, but thank you.
Chronic disease self-management program went online, and so we continue to have volunteers help us in that way. And a very exciting and big part of our volunteering this year that you all have contributed to are being our online Facebook, Zoom, and many other ways of presenting different activities and bringing joy to our community center members and our adult care center members when they couldn't come in to be at the center. And even now, as they do on the days that they're not at the center, entertaining them, providing seated yoga, teaching Spanish, teaching knitting, all sorts of new ideas, singing, reading stories, telling jokes. It's just been wonderful. I believe we also had a tour of India, and our neighbor-to-neighbor volunteers have been great, friendly callers, helping out sometimes as people need more help, because as we know, isolation can be such a problem for people, and we're really glad that we have ways to help people feel connected.
Our volunteers are so dedicated, and they are ready to work and committed. They come in, they're ready to do the job. They show up, and a lot of volunteers we've had for a long period of time are really just okay, just kind of going with the flow and not getting a ton of fanfare, but they're also just so gracious and generous and really care so very much about their position.
Of course, our insurance counselors have continued to provide assistance getting started in Medicare, as well as our big and busy Medicare Part D open enrollment in the fall, and the Affordable Care Act enrollment, which now has become even more important as more people are unemployed or having benefits changed, and this has been a great way for us to make sure people continue to be insured.
The impact that they have in our community is they take something very complicated as health insurance and able to explain it and guide people along so that they have the right health insurance set up for them as they move through their lives. They are amazing at being able to take the complicated and explain it to people. They also, the impact that we have on people's lives through our volunteers, we talk about the millions of dollars that we have saved people over the last several years and put back in their pockets. They normally would be paying for prescriptions or for insurance plans, and now they have that money back in their pockets to be able to spend on other things, from food to spoiling grandchildren. So the impact that they have is a giant financial impact on our community. The work that the insurance counseling volunteers do is also really a health issue, because if they help people get their health insurance set up the right way and their prescription insurance set up the right way, that means that those people are more likely to have better health care over the course of their life.
And each of these efforts really help to promote and preserve our mission. The number of volunteers is overwhelming. The commitment of showing up in new ways week after week is admirable, and we know we can count on you. As you continue in this new way to keep all of you, we want to keep all of you safe. It provides an opportunity to reflect on the many ways you create a sustainable community for healthy aging, and those ways that benefit individuals and families of all ages. We look forward to welcoming you back when we are able to return to gathering together and being able to thank you in person. In the meantime, I'd like to share my heartfelt appreciation for all you do.
Their time, their heart, their service, their smiles, their patience. I mean, they're just giving so much of themselves. And what a gift. What a gift. I am so grateful because they don't have to do this, but they do. And so I know it's a service in their heart. It's a special gift. And I really appreciate them coming. It just makes the community what it is. I mean, it has touched my life. It really has. And when I come to a point in my life, when I retire, by watching them, I want to be like that. I want to volunteer. I want to get back to the community. Volunteers are special, compassionate, gifted people. Yes, because their living is not in vain. It is not in vain.